Everybody, today I'm going to be doing a camera comparison. Proud to say I finally got my hands on a DXG 579V camcorder for really cheap off of eBay. I only paid $12 for it plus $6.50 shipping for a just lightly used silver DXG 579V camera. I mean, when I got to looking at this thing today, it's really hard to tell it's even been used at all. Which anyways, I'm videoing right now with an Ativa D33F camcorder. I highly recommend you don't get this particular camcorder, the Ativa camera, because as you hear, the audio quality is very bad for a supposedly high definition camcorder. But anyways, here is our DXG 579V camcorder. It has a 2.4 inch LCD which can flip around. That way you can observe yourself while you're shooting a video. And this camera has a lot of decent features on it. Anyways, here is the DXG 567V high definition camcorder. I've had this one since March of 2010. Got on sale at Walmart for $65. And it came with a junk load of stuff. It came with the tripod that's on this camera right now. It came with quite a few things. It came with some batteries, 4 AA batteries, which are rechargeables, and a charger. It came with a 2 gig SD card. It came with a case. It came with the appropriate needed cables and all that sort of stuff. But sadly to say, the batteries that came with this camera and the charger are junk. The batteries lasted, I guess, maybe a month or so. That's as long as they would hold to charge. And the charger would no longer charge batteries properly. So I just trashed the batteries and the charger. And I've been using these batteries here to do my charging. And I have this Rayovac charger here that does pretty well. Anyways, now I'm going to be shooting video with each of these camcorders. First, I'm going to be shooting video with the DXG 567V camcorder, having an overall look at the 579V camcorder. Now I'm shooting video with the DXG 567V camcorder. Let's have a look here at the 579V. I did a brief overview a few minutes ago. Anyways, here is the screen up close. 2.4 inch LCD, and it has a display help button on top, and here are some other control buttons. We have our power button. We'll go ahead and power the camera on. We also have a playback button, which there's nothing on the camera. This camera has internal memory. I think it's 32 megabytes worth. And we have a menu here for video. And you have controls for white balance, the resolution, the effect, night mode, and capture mode. And to switch over to picture mode, what you do here is you turn this dial. That puts you into picture mode. And basically here in the menu, you have white balance, resolution, effect, night mode, and self timer. And we also have a setup component here, which now you can use. You can configure stuff like the beep, histogram, auto power off, TV standard, format the card, defaults, your language, frequency, and the date and time. We're going to go ahead and switch back to video. And our macro and standard slider is located here. And you can plug up a USB cable right here. And we have what I believe is a component out here below the USB adapter. And we also have our audio out, or audio video out, which I have the appropriate cables for already with the old DXG camcorder, the 567V. Anyways, This camcorder comes with a variety of different things. It comes with, of course, the camera itself in a variety of different colors. My friend Tim has a camera like this, and I managed to try his out before getting this one. He has a blue camera. I believe those cameras are offered in black, blue, pink, and silver, and probably some other colors. I'm not exactly sure. I know the 567V comes in pink, light blue, black, and I think brown. The camera comes with 4 AAA batteries, and it comes with, I would believe, your USB adapter cable and the output cables to like a TV. It doesn't include a SD card, a tripod, and all the stuff that the 567V includes, but this camera here is definitely good in my opinion. And of course, if you're like me, who shoots a lot of video, it's a good idea to get some rechargeable batteries. Definitely save you a lot of money and get better performance. Anyways, let's continue looking at this thing. Turn it back on. A couple things I forgot to mention here. And of course, this camera here, it has digital zoom. Both the 567 and 579V have digital zoom. And of course, this beep can be turned off, and it doesn't beep when you're recording. And one really cool thing I like about this camera is this: the light. That's a definite must-have for anybody who is shooting in low light conditions. It's always good to have a nice bright LED light on your camera. Anyway, you're going to turn that off. You press the right button to do that, and of course these buttons here control the white balance. This is really neat. Okay, the top buttons here can change the different resolution sizes. Pretty neat. These are like shortcut buttons. You can use these buttons here to get shortcuts to certain features or access them through the menu. Anyways, that's a general overall look at the 579V. Now let's shoot a video with it. Now I'm shooting with the DXG 579V. We're looking at the DXG 567V camcorder. Let's go ahead and turn it on. The power button's located up here. This is one very basic camcorder. It has a single button for recording. You press the record, and if you want to stop recording, you press the record button again. The light stops flashing. To play a video back, you hit the play button and you press this button. And by the way, you can use these. You can toggle this button as well to do other things, such as zooming in and zooming out, that sort of stuff. You press it again to playback. And let's say you want to delete the file. You press the left button to delete. This is kind of confusing. Hit this question mark. If you don't want to delete, you just don't press it. It'll stop asking you. Let's say if you want to delete it, you'll press delete again, and it erases the file. And of course, like I said, you press this button up to zoom in. You press it down to zoom out. Pressing it left will change your resolution. Goes from D1 to CIF. This is a really basic here. Press it again, it turns into photo taking mode. And you press it again, it goes back to HD. This camera has no menus. Well, actually it does have one. Very, very, very limited what you can do here. You can set your date and time, TV mode, and your frequency. That's it. Turn it off and let's turn it back on. That's all you really have here. Really, really basic camera. Too basic for me. And evidently they were really trying to compete with the Flip, because look here, USB port pops out the side of it, and it has software built into it that allows you to upload videos to YouTube. I mean, this is pretty cool for some, but not really for me. I prefer editing my videos before I put them online. And of course, here is your macro to standard slider. The mic on this camera is located right here. The 579V has it located on the side right behind the display, which I'm going to go ahead and talk about something here. And this is a good way that they designed the 5.6MV camcorder. I commonly use this camera while I'm on my road bike. Going down the road, I actually have an old piece of a tripod fastened to my handlebars where I can just screw this camera on, and I can go down the road about 25 to 30 miles per hour, and there's no whir sound from wind. There's no tornado sound from the wind. It sounds clear. The 579V, going down the road on my bike, has a whir sound. It sounds awful in my opinion. The scent, the wind sound, not very good. That's the only con about the 579V. Otherwise, I think the 579V is built better. The 5.6MV has really thin plastic. I mean, listen to it. Really cheap. I mean, it's been a fairly rugged little camera. I have managed to have it fall a couple of times when it was on the tripod, and it still works just fine. So that's not too bad. And another con about this camera is it tends to eat batteries pretty quickly. I mean, these Reavacs, they ain't worth a flip anyway. They're only like 1400 milliamp hour batteries. But even with my Energizer 2450s on here, milliamp hour batteries, it will only record for, I'd say, a little over an hour and a half at the most. Which, to some people, that's not bad. But let's say you want to make a nice time lapse of a sunset. It'd be kind of difficult to time lapse that whole sunset because your batteries will go dead. In the case with the 579V, it uses 4 AAAs at once, and these are Energizer 850 milliamp hour batteries. And I've been shooting some other videos of the dogs and the cat earlier. This experiment with the camera, and even while I'm shooting this video, the battery still shows full. It still shows 3 bars. So that's a good thing about the 579V camera. I mean, it's really good on batteries. Okay, for those who are wondering why I upgraded to the 579V from the 5.6MV DXG camera, is because the 5.6MV doesn't have much of a good menu like I stated earlier. You have very limited features. You can't really be a power user with the thing. And I mean, the 579V has a much better menu. You have a lot more features. You can turn stuff on and off, such as night mode. You have a white balance feature. You can manually adjust that. This camera don't even have it. And the biggest con of all with this 5.6MV camera is night mode is turned on by default. You cannot turn it off, which is a big con for those who are shooting in room light. I mean, I can be in a room during the middle of the day with this camera, and all it takes me is to look at something dark, and then the video goes. You'll see here in a minute, I'm going to shoot a video with this camera again. Anyways, the 579V has the feature where you can turn that off. So even when you're in low light, you can shoot video and the frame rate will still look clear. And speaking of which, the 579V has a light on it, which is very bright. Okay, let's shoot a video with the 5.6.7. Then I'll shoot a video with the 579V of my work area. Okay. Here's a video of my workspace. This is my work table. I do a lot of computer repairs here, and of course I shoot a lot of videos here. Place is quite a mess. This is also my bedroom, by the way. There is my 12 volt and 5 volt power supply. There's one of my lights. There's my other light. It's not turned on right now. And here is my desk. Yeah, this place is quite a mess. Looks like a bomb went off. I know. I'm putting this on YouTube. Anyways, here's some computers, some parts anyways, more parts, some books, more computer parts. Yeah, it's a big mess. There's a Computer Mid-Tower Deluxe. There's motherboard wall of shame. More motherboard wall of shame. Some posters. More junk. Yeah, it's a pretty big mess in here, but anyways, some low light. Just to show you guys, this camera still does pretty well, despite a little bit of grain. Now I'm going to shoot video with the 5.6MV. Okay, now I'm shooting video with the 5.6MV. The same area. The same. Oh, it looks about the same, but oh, let's wait a second. Oh, what's that? Juddery, isn't it? There's a Computer Mid-Tower Deluxe again. My desk. Yeah, I know the place is messy. E-Machine's motherboard wall of shame. I mean, seriously, look at this. Looks like a webcam, don't it? This is the main reason why I switched to the 5.7.9V. Much, much better. Anyways, here's another quick look at the 5.7.9V. And there's my comparison of two DXG camcorders, the 5.6MV and the 5.7.9V. If you want to see videos of the 5.6MV in action, just watch about all my older YouTube videos from March of 2010 up till now. I use the 5.6MV to do the majority of those videos. Anyways, any questions or comments, let me know.